Hello everyone and welcome to this top 4 of the best robots. Behind me I have 4 robotic mowers that I've been able to test for several months. The goal of this video is to introduce you to these 4 robotic mowers to give you what I think are their advantages and possibly their disadvantages. I'm not paid by any brand to speak positively about them. This is simply my personal feedback. First of all, if they are selected in this video, it's because I like them and I find them really very effective. Otherwise, I wouldn't talk about them. They are more suitable for a small surface between 600 square meters and up to 1500 square meters. There are even bigger versions to go up to 6000 square meters. Some robots will be suitable for slopes, others more for flat gardens. Basically, I sorted them according to their mowing area, and the goal is that at the end of this video, you know exactly which one to choose according to your budget and your garden. So we start with the Navimow i105, a very good robot from Segway for areas up to 500 to 600 square meters maximum. If you have a larger area, you can already eliminate it. Other models will be more suitable. You can also skip directly to the robot that interests you thanks to the chapters. At the front, we notice a small camera called Vision Fence. It allows the robot to detect objects, and it does it very well. There's no video return with this robot, but you can manage the mowing directly with the 3 buttons on the robot or via the app, which is quite intuitive. This robot works with an RTK antenna, which means it uses this antenna to position itself in the garden. For the 4 robots shown here, the initial mapping is the same. You have to outline the garden with the app via Bluetooth. This step is done only once, then the robot is autonomous. It's a rather quiet robot, equipped with 4 wheels, 2 powered ones at the rear, 2 free wheels at the front, with a centered cutting deck containing 3 blades. It also has a very practical handle at the back for easy transport. It is waterproof with an IP66 certification. Its wheels are particularly large, the largest among the 4 models presented. That said, it can climb slopes up to 30% maximum, which is still limited, so it's not the robot I would recommend if you have a bumpy garden with a lot of slope or holes. It's perfect for a flat or slightly sloped garden. The cutting height is adjusted manually between 2 and 6 centimeters. It also has a 4G module, optional, which allows real-time tracking of its position, especially convenient if you go on vacation. The installation of this robot is relatively simple, like for the other models I'll show you. There's also quite a bit of space around the cutting deck to prevent grass from accumulating, and of course, like the other robots, you can program it to mow automatically according to the schedule you set. The link to check the price or order this robot is in the description. Let's now move on to the second robot in this selection, the Yuka Mini. It comes in 4 versions, going up to 1100 square meters. It seems to me that the Navimow battery is 2.4 or 2.5 amp hours, which matches its battery life. The Yuka Mini, depending on the model chosen, can be equipped with different batteries. The advantage is that they are very easily accessible at the back of the robot. You just need to unscrew the cover and the battery unclips like a power tool battery. Unlike the Navimow, it has a rain sensor. This means that in case of rain, it automatically returns to its base to recharge. It also has a small LED at the front, which allows it to mow even at night, detecting obstacles via its camera. All the adjustment buttons are accessible, and the cutting height is manually adjustable between 2 and 6 centimeters. The camera also allows a video return, which is not possible with the Navimow. 4G is offered for 1 year and also allows remote access via the app. In terms of positioning, it also uses the RTK antenna, but if it doesn't work well in your garden, you can switch to the in-Avinet RTK system, which works through the robot's 4G. It's just as accurate. The first year is free, then 50 euros per year. This system can also work with Wi-Fi. Note that Wi-Fi is not mandatory for these robots, but it is recommended to have a good connection near the charging station, especially for updates. The Yuka Mini is well protected on the sides to avoid scratches. It is equipped with notched wheels and can climb slopes up to 45%. However, I recommend staying under 30% because beyond that, it tends to slip due to its light weight, only 10 kilograms. Under the robot, there are 2 swiveling wheels at the front, a 19 centimeter deck with 5 blades. These 5 blades are particularly effective if the grass is a bit high. Even if I recommend mowing regularly, the cutting quality is very good even with a weekly pass. Finally, the carrying handle is placed at the front on this model, and the robot is guaranteed for 3 years. Same for this one, same for him, and same for the Luba Mini. Regarding the app, I find it very intuitive. Also at MMI, and the installation is ultra fast. In 10 minutes, let's say, the robot is installed. After, you just have to outline your garden depending on the surface. It will take more or less time, and the object detection is really precise as well. And you can benefit from a €50 discount. I will also put the link in the description. So this is number 2. Number 3 is the Mova. So this one will have a positioning system totally different compared to the other 3. Its positioning will actually be thanks to its Lidar at the front. At first I was a bit skeptical about this positioning system. I must admit it's really very practical, because actually we don't need an RTK antenna. It will be, of course, wireless. And the advantage is that if you have many trees, many obstacles around, the robot will position itself correctly, since it will refer to its Lidar. Actually, the Lidar will measure the distance around it between the object, so it can be a tree, borders, etc. And so it will be able to position itself and detect objects precisely as well. However, there will be no video feedback possible with this robot. After, you can still manually manage the mowing from 6 centimeters to 2 centimeters as well. We find the small buttons to manage mowing directly on the robot. Of course, after, all the safeties when you lift the robot, for example. And that would be the same on the 3 robots. And this one has a bumper at the front. Well, I didn't notice it necessarily detecting objects with this bumper, but anyway, it will prevent damaging the robot in case of shock. Charging will be at the front. The installation is also very simple, and it can cover surfaces from 600 square meters to 1000 square meters, because there are 2 robots, the Mova 600 and the Mova 1000. Battery capacity will be 2.5 amp hours for both robots. You can also program it. For slopes, it can go up to 45%. While I had the chance to test it quickly, I found it slipped beyond 30%. In a garden with 13 degrees, there is no problem. It gave me a perfect cut without slipping. After, you can choose different wheels. Mova therefore has much more toothed wheels, adapted to sloped gardens. Exactly, it's kind of the same system as the other robots. We actually find 4 wheels, including 2 swivel wheels at the front and 2 toothed driving wheels at the back. Regarding the battery, we will have access here, and it's a centered deck of 20 centimeters with 3 blades, quite a bit of space around to avoid grass buildup. And the handle super important at the back to transport it easily. An important point I didn't mention, if for example you have a separate area in your garden where the robot has no access and you have to carry and bring it, unfortunately you can't do that with this one. It also seems to me that you need to connect the zones together, otherwise you can't lift the robot. On the other hand, the Yuka Mini and the Luba Mini, you can perfectly carry the robot and bring it to another zone and have it mow without needing to connect the zones together. It's a good mower robot. We won't have any light though. And I found it very quiet as well. The big advantage I find is its positioning with the Lidar. If you want to know the price, see more details, order it. It's link number 3. Now we move on to a totally different robot, also adapted for small gardens, up to 1500 square meters. This one you may have recognized is the Luba Mini from Mowers. So this one is really ultra complete if you especially have a difficult garden with lots of holes, bumps, slopes. To be quick, first, it's a robot with 4-wheel drive. So the wheels are quite toothed at the back, swivel wheels at the front that allow not to tear the lawn. The wheels will slide like this, which avoids damage. On each side of the robot, there are shock absorbers that will allow it to adapt precisely to difficult gardens. Let's say you have a root lying around, the robot can easily adapt. Regarding the handles, they are located on the sides. And I told you it was 4-wheel drive. It's not for nothing, because actually it can go on slopes of 80%, 38 degrees. It's one of the only robots that really surprised me on that and really keeps its promises. I tested it on a slope of about 35 degrees, even 38 degrees in some places, 40 degrees, and frankly, it mowed very well. It tends to slip a bit, but anyway, it mows efficiently. Beyond 38 degrees, however, it's no use. It will go into safety and won't venture there. We have several object detection systems. This one, however, will have a bumper at the front, so we can detect either with that, meaning the robot will come, touch, for example, the tree, it will understand and then avoid it. We of course find the front camera, which will detect objects, have a video feedback as well. The light is super important to work at night and detect various objects. Honestly, it lights very well. Regarding the battery, it will be the same as the Yuka Mini. it will be at the back. Possibility to unclip, change the battery more easily later. It's guaranteed 3 years and the battery will be 4.5 amp hours for the 800, and for the 1500 version it will be 6.1 amp hours. We find of course the rain sensor, all buttons to manage it directly on the robot, the toothed wheels at the back. It will recharge from the back of the robot, and in the middle we find a centered deck with 6 blades. I can tell you it's powerful. I noticed it made a bit more noise compared to especially the other robots. That's probably explained because the motor is really powerful, 88 watts. After, the noise is not disturbing, I find. You can watch several tests and form your own opinion on that. The advantage also is that there is a lot of space here to avoid the robot getting clogged. There's always a bit of grass sticking, but it comes off really easily. The positioning system will be with the RTK antenna and also Inavi Net RTK. With this one, it's the same as the Yuka Mini. 4G is offered for 1 year and then you can renew it. It's not mandatory and it's 50 euros per year as well. And you also have 50 euros off on your first order. All details are in the video description. I really recommend this robot for flat gardens, of course, but it's not necessarily the first robot I would take for a flat garden, given that it is more expensive. For a flat garden, we have these robots that are very good, I find. However, for a garden with slopes, if you want to be sure it won't slip and it's adapted, I think it's the best robot for a sloped garden and for a difficult garden with holes, bumps, etc. Cut quality also superb. Only downside, a bit like all robots actually, since they have a centered deck, they will leave a bit of grass at the borders. I think I have covered these 4 mower robots. Feel free to tell me which one you think you'll take. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask them in comments. I'm here to answer. All links are in the video description if you want to order. I'll say see you next time.